Hi everybody, welcome to Mondays with Mark. I'm Mark and this is SmokeySteveAndMarc. Ah, yes it is. Welcome back. It's so great to see you. If you have 1 second, please hit that subscribe button, okay? And if you will, the notification bell too. That way you know whenever we have a new video come out, alright? Thank you so much. Anyway, yes, it's so nice to see you. How are you? How was your weekend? Do you have any big plans for the week? Oh my gosh, I hope you do. As you know, we're in the middle of fall. Yes, we are. I may have mentioned it once or twice. I don't know. Maybe a couple times. Maybe a few hundred times. I don't know. But it is my favorite season of all. And Halloween is one of my favorite holidays of all time, too. And I love decorating for it. I love cooking for it. I like making, like, DIYs for it. And today is no exception. On Mondays with Mark, we have a really cool project for Halloween. Oh, gosh. But first, I gotta make an announcement. If you haven't heard already. Okay, today's Monday, right? Okay, so tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Okay, so isn't that interesting how that went Monday and then Tuesdays? You get it. So Tuesday is October unlucky number 13th, right? So it is also the beginning of Spooky Steve and Mark season. Yes, I've been so looking forward to this. If you were with us last year, you kind of know what that entails. If you're new, if you weren't with us last year at that time, all it means is that from tomorrow all the way up to Halloween, all of our videos will have something Halloweeny in it. Is Halloweeny a word? I hope so, because I think it's a really cool word, and I'm going to use it. Halloweeny. Halloweeny! I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway. So, yes, every video from now until Halloween will have something Halloweeny in it. We're going to have DIYs. We're going to have recipes, costumes, pumpkins. I mean, you never know what might happen, okay? We might travel a little bit. You never know. That all begins tomorrow. So be sure to tune in. We're also going to have giveaways pretty much every day, too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I am super stoked about it. I hope you are too. All right, so getting back to today's topic. Okay, so like I said, I do love decorating. Not only for Halloween, I do like to decorate for this season and whatever holiday it might be, okay? And I did, upon research, I found, isn't that very professional? Upon research, I just Googled it, okay? But really, I found this pretty interesting, that when you decorate, when you create something, a craft or a DIY or something, and even when you cook, garden, anything like that, it has a lot of benefits for your health as well. And that is your mental health and your physical health and even your spiritual health too. For example, when I create something, when I make something and I see the finished product, I get like kind of a good feeling. What happens is the endorphins start kicking in, and those are those feel-good chemicals inside your brain, right? So I think that anything we can do to kind of like, prompt those endorphins to get moving there, it's totally worth it. Decorating is definitely one of those things. Do you remember back whenever COVID first started? I think it was maybe a little bit into it, maybe March, April, somewhere around there. There was a movement going around that everybody would decorate for Christmas because it kind of, lifted your spirit a little bit, gave you something nice to look at, and it did. It was nice to look at. It's the same concept for any holiday that you decorate for. I know that, like, when I drive around town and I see decorations, I love it. It makes me kind of feel better, And when I decorate myself, not only do, I kind of like the way it looks when I come home and see it, but I also get a sense of accomplishment for doing something, And I get the added benefit of people being able to see it and enjoy it too. All of those things, boost those endorphins and put me in a better mood and kind of help my mental health a little bit. When I'm decorating outside, I'm getting a little bit of exercise, breathing in some fresh air. Very good for you too. When we create something and make something, whatever it might be, if a tiny little craft project to a big project that we do outside, the same thing applies. It's just, how do you say it? It just it just gives you a little bit of boost, and it helps you, okay? And I firmly believe that. So I would encourage you, even if it's to put something little out on your table, or hang a little string of lights behind your headboard in your bedroom, whatever, something to just give you a little boost, because really, right now, I think we could use anything that we can get, okay, to kind of make us a little more happy. All right, so I yapped long enough. So today we have a fantastic project for Halloween. This is going to be a picture we're going to make to hang on the wall, kind of West Elm inspired in a way. I've seen these finished things in the stores for, I mean, anywhere. The least expensive one I saw was $24.99. And the most expensive one I saw online was over $200. And we're going to recreate something just like that at home for just a fraction of the cost, and it's not that difficult to do. And actually, it's kind of a two-part video, because first, I'm going to show you how we can stain wood using coffee. Yep, no more do we have to buy, those cans of stinky wood stain that's full of toxins and everything. We can get the same effect using coffee. Look who came to say hello. Well, hello. Say hi to everybody. I'm glad you stopped by. Mwah. All right, there you go. And then second, we have the project that we're going to do today too. So why don't you give me just 5 minutes, and I'm going to get my craft table set up and get all of our supplies ready. And hey, maybe I'll even change into something a little more Halloween-y. All right, I'll see you in just about 5 minutes. All right, bye. All right, now we are all set up and ready to go for our project. So, like I said, this was inspired by some West Elm pictures that I had seen online, and I also saw a couple of these in Home Goods and Apocryphy, like stores like that. They're really cool. And let me move this out of the way here. So I thought I would show you the finished. This is the one that I did first. We're gonna make a witch and we are going to make a really cool picture using newsprint or pages of a book. And like I said, this one is the witch, and we're going to do a cat too. Surprisingly, very easy to do, okay? So, what you will need for this project. So, you will need a piece of wood of some sort. Now, I got this at Michael's. It's 12 by 12, ready to go. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But any type of scrap wood would work. Anything that you have, depending on the size of the image you want to do. You could use any type of scrap wood that you may have, okay? We're going to use this one that I got at Michael's. Like I said, it's 12 by 12, and it's completely raw wood, and we're going to stain it, and I'll show you how to do that too. In addition to that, you're going to need some type of newsprint or the pages of an old book. So I found this is one of Steven's favorite books of all time, Witch, and I thought how appropriate because we're making a witch, right? And so we found an old copy at the thrift store, so I bought it, and we'll be able to rip it up. I have some pages ready to go. You could also use regular newspaper if you'd like, or whatever. But I think kind of the fun of this is that you could use an old horror novel or something. Kind of ties it all together, in my opinion. In addition to that, you'll need some Mod Podge. You could also use tacky glue if you have it. We'll need some jute twine. You'll need scissors or maybe an X-Acto knife. We will need some foam brushes, okay? And you will need some coffee. So, to begin with, brew yourself a pot of coffee, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and put the rest into a container like this because we're going to use that in this project. Now, if you don't want to brew a whole pot of coffee, instant coffee works just as well. Okay, so cool. There's a couple other items you'll need, but we'll get to that on the way. Like you'll need like a little paintbrush and some nails, but basically that's all you'll need. So let us begin. All right, so we're gonna get our wood ready to use. So I have this really cool, and I wanted to show this to you because it's 12 by 12. And it's completely finished on the back. See? It's really, really cool. Very professional, very nice looking. And it's ready to go as is. All right? So if you have a piece of wood, the only thing that you want to kind of make sure is that it's smooth as possible. So this is very, very smooth. So literally all I did was wipe it off just with a towel like that. If yours is a little rough, you might want to take a little bit of fine sandpaper and sand it with the grain of the wood just to get a nice smooth finish, and then, you know, wipe it off with a towel. All right, so we're going to stain this wood. By all means, if you like the natural look, you can do that as well. I think staining it, not only is it cool how we're going to do it, but it kind of adds a little bit to it, all right? So, I did not buy any wood stain. We are going to stain using coffee. Oh, yeah. So, coffee staining, yes, you can absolutely do it, and it works really good. And there's so many benefits to it, too. You know, it's non-toxic. It doesn't smell bad. It's half the price, maybe even more than half the price, right? And it looks really cool too. And you can tell people, hey, I stained that with coffee, you know. Anyway, you can also use tea bags too, but that's a little bit of a different process. So we're going to use coffee today. Now, on this one, you can see, I don't know if you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference there. Okay. So this one I wanted very, very light as the staining. Now, on this one, we're going to make a kitty cat. So I wanted it maybe a little bit darker. So I had my regular brewed coffee, and then to that, I added about a tablespoon of instant coffee to it, just to make it a little bit darker. Obviously, the darker your coffee, the more stronger your coffee is, the darker stain you're going to get. And also, you can continue to do, you know, layers on top of layers, leaving them dry in between to get the desired color you want as well. So this is as simple as using a foam brush, dipping it in your coffee, and staining your wood. Like that. So we're going to do that with our entire piece of wood all the way around. And like I said, I personally like mine to be lighter. This one's going to be a little darker than the first one that I made on purpose, but I did want them to be light. You can continue to apply coats of this in between drying, and it'll get darker and darker and darker depending on how dark you want it. If you want to go for a mahogany color, you can add maybe 2 or 3 drops of red food coloring to your coffee, and that'll give you like a little bit like of a cherry wood or mahogany look to it. It's pretty cool. I haven't experimented with other colors, like, I don't know, maybe put some blue in there or yellow or whatever and see what it comes up with. I'll do that in my next project, but I only had 2 pieces of wood, so I just wanted to make sure that it turned out right for y'all, so I didn't do that. Alright, so there we go. I did my whole, if you can see it on video or not, and now we're going to set this aside and let it dry. About a half hour to an hour. I have a fan here that I'm going to turn on so that it'll dry a lot quicker. That's kind of loud. Here, I'll put it on low. Is that better? That's better. All right. Oh, and I do have it facing the wrong way. Okay, there we go. All right, so I have the fan on it, so hopefully it'll be nice and dry for the next step, okay? And I got a little coffee on my work table here, and I want to show you the work table in a minute. Okay, so next we're going to get our image ready. So you can go onto Google, and I'll probably post this to Facebook, so I'll give you some silhouettes to use if you want. There's all kinds of silhouettes that you can use for Halloween on Google. You would just type in, say, black cat silhouette or witch head silhouette, and all the images will come up, and you can download and print them out. We're going to do a black cat for this one here. And let's see, I showed you, this was the witch that I did for the last one. Like that, okay? So, that's the first thing we're going to do, is get our image. Decide on an image and use it. Print it out. This will be a guide for us, okay? By all means, if you can freehand it, by all means do it, okay? I think that is really, really cool. All right, so next we're going to make our newspaper pages that we're going to transfer our little silhouette onto, okay? So I just ripped a few pages out from the book, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut them. First I'm going to get rid of the ragged edge like this, okay? And then I just kind of cut them like that, or like that. Just randomly cut them, okay? Because part of the appeal of this is that some of the type goes this way, some of the type goes that way, some of it's on an angle. That's what kind of gives it a really, really cool look. All right, so I have some pages to work with here, and I'll show you what we're going to do next here. Get our Mod Podge out, or our tacky glue, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a page of print to apply our silhouette to. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Let me zoom you down. I'm going to move this over so you can see. Got some coffee on there. That's not real good. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I think you can see that. Perfect. All right, so this is where our little brush comes in, okay? So we just want to take a little bit of glue, and we're going to glue them together. And if you take a look at your image, you'll see how large you will need it, okay? Like this is going to be approximately 8 by 10, so I'll need about an 8 by 10 size of newsprint. So we're going to dip our glue in there, and we're just going to, just on the edges like this, we're just going to tack it down. It doesn't have to be perfect. And let's see. So I'll do that and put it like that, okay? And see, we'll do one over here like that. And I'll put this one like so, all right? Oh, you're getting a shadow. There, that's better. Okay. And so on and so on and so on. So you have a finished item that kind of looks like that. And I know it looks funny, but the only thing you have to worry about is that your image will fit on top of it like that. All right, and next we're going to apply our image to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut around our image just roughly, okay? You want to leave a little border around it, just roughly, just like this. Wow, this is a little harder to do holding it for the camera than I thought it would be. Just to make it a little smaller to work with, so to speak. Okay, so we did that. Let me get this junk out of the way. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did to our book pages, but with our silhouette here. Let's see. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to kind of center it on there, making sure that all of our parts, yeah, and they are. Okay, so you just want to make sure that your image, when you cut it out, that it has print on it. So you don't want, like, it hanging off, you know, so to speak. So we're going to put it like that. Now, at this point, we're going to tack it down with our glue, okay? But only in the places we're not cutting, okay? So, for example, we're going to flip it over and just do the edges. See, like there and there, and glue it down. And we're going to do that all the way around. And this will help hold it in place while we cut it out. I can't get under. There we go. Okay, there. Okay, so you get the idea there. So now this is attached, like so. And now you simply, now there's two ways you can do this. You can pick it up and cut around it with scissors, or using a piece of cardboard as the base here, you can trim around it with an X-Acto knife, and you're going to want to just trim all the way around your image so that it cuts through not only the top layer, but your book pages too. All right, and with the magic of TV, I just happen to have one finished, okay? So we have our kitty cat, and then you'll take it off, and now we have our kitty cat to use for our picture. Pretty cool, huh? Now, if you glued them together, you'll probably have two sides. Just pick the side that you like that looks the best, okay? So, that's ready to go. Now, next, and this is the fun part, we get to play with the glue again, and we are just about dry. Yeah, we're just about dry here. All right, so we can use it. A tiny little bit damp, you know, is okay. So we're going to put our wood down, move all this out of the way. And let's see, I think that side looks cool. All right, so position it where you want it to be. I think I'm going to do mine right at the bottom like this. I'm doing this upside down. I got to do it this way. Let me see. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we're going to center ours right there, like so. Maybe move it like that way, and I'll trim the bottom off a little. Okay, so that's where I'm going to want it. Wow, I'm trying to hold that up. I know it's at an angle. There we go there. All right, so now this part is the fun part. We're going to ditch the little brush there, and we're going to get ourselves a foam brush, all right? And we're going to use our Mod Podge there. Trying to get it to the front. There we go. All right, and we're going to apply a pretty decent amount to the wood, just enough to cover where we're going to put our image, all right? And I know that's right in the center, so I kind of know how much to put on there. I think that's good. All right. And, yeah, you can use, I do a pretty heavy coat, okay? You want it, we'll work out all the wrinkles and all that stuff that might happen. All right, that's a good base there. Set that to the side. And then we're going to position our kitty cat. All right. Now, to kind of watch for wrinkles, I just tack the bottom of it on like that, and then I'm going to run my finger up the center, like so, and then kind of push out from the center, like that, all the way around. So he's all tacked down. Oh, forgot a little glue there. See, it's very forgiving. There we go. Get his little tail. All right. And now, if you see any wrinkles, just rub your hand over it a little bit. And when we apply the next coat, we'll get rid of all those. All right. Now, you know, you want to check and make sure we're centered here. And I like it. All right. Ready to go. All right. So, next, can you put it right there so you can see it? Okay. Next, we're going to coat everything with Mod Podge. We're decoupaging. And like I said, be liberal. Use as much as you want. And this time, we're going to cover the entire piece of wood. Now, what this will do on the bare wood is it will make it nice and shiny for you. It'll dry completely clear and leave a nice gloss on it. All right? We'll seal it all up. Make sure you get your kitty cat all covered like so. All right. I know you were waiting for it. I know. This is where you sing to your project. Seriously, it will not turn out the same unless you sing to it. Halloween songs, even more appropriate. And again, I don't know any Halloween songs that come to my mind every time I do this. All right, so now we have a nice thick coating on here. All right, just like so. Just make sure it's even, and it is. This looks good. Okay, so now you can see we have some wrinkles. So just get a little bit of glue on your finger, and we're going to work them out. Just like so. It's nice and wet, so it'll work it all out. Like so. Some wrinkles are fine. You just don't want real huge big ones, you know, because it kind of takes away from it. I personally like when there's a few wrinkles in it because I think it looks authentic, but I guess in the decoupage world it's not really supposed to be that way. I don't know. There's some there. Anyway, you get the picture. I don't have to do this for you. Alright, so put that aside, and we are going to set this aside and let it dry. Let me bring you back up here. Like the sound effects. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we have this. Basically, that's it. We're going to set this aside and we're going to let it dry completely, okay? And once it dries, it'll be a nice, like, glossy look to it. If you want it even more glossy, you can go ahead and put a second coat of Mod Podge on it as well. That'll give it even a little bit more of a gloss to it, alright? So, for the finished look, and actually you're done at that point, if you like it like that. I wanted to add a little something extra to mine. So, of course, I added a little star and a moon. And I have a couple cut out to put on my kitty cat as well. I have a little star here and a little moon. I'll do that in a second, you know. And so I wanted to add, I don't know, it just seemed kind of plain to me. So I added, as you can see, a little rope border around it. Super, super easy. Just get some twine, some jute twine like this, and get yourself 4 little nails that have a head on the top of it. And all I did was I nailed 4 nails in each corner like so, and wrapped it around the nails for a nice finished look. And this is our witch. Doesn't she look cool? I know. I dig her. I think she's pretty cool. And I'll let our little kitty cat dry, and I'll be sure to show you what he looks like all finished too. I'll take some pictures, and I'll post them over on Facebook for you, okay? So we learned how to stain wood with coffee. We made a really, really cool picture to hang on the wall for Halloween. I would say today's a success. I had a fantastic time doing it. I really enjoy doing this stuff. I hope you had a good time too. And if you make something like this, of course you don't have to do a witch or a cat. You could do any image you want with it. I'd love to see it if you make anything. Shoot me a picture, okay? And I'll share it over on Facebook. As always, I'll post this project on Facebook with some templates that you can use. Maybe I'll put a bunch of different ones, some witches and cats and moons and things like that for you to download and print and try yourself, okay? But give me a couple days to do that. Like maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll have that up on Facebook for you, okay? Thank you so much for spending your time with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed today's project. All of our contact information, like our P.O. box and our email address, is all listed right below. And if you have any questions on today's project at all, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you with an answer, okay? Also, please like and comment and share. I'd really appreciate it. Check us out on Facebook, SmokeySteveAndMarc. Send us a friend request. We're also on Twitter. Our handle is SmokeySteveA. And we're on Instagram too, okay? SmokeySteveAndMarc. Thanks again, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for Spooky Steve and Mark. Wow! We'll see you next time, everybody. Ciao!